Valuable One. Welcome to the World Conference on Youth 2014, Sri Lanka.
So farmers, what can they do to reduce their contributions to food loss and food waste? What steps can they take to limit food loss and food waste? So 10 seconds left for this question. Okay, and question 7. So what rules and regulations can governments introduce to ensure a reduction in food loss and food waste?
Core principles of the World Bank New Rural Strategy, because it is fostering and enabling an environment for food, for broad-based and sustainable rural growth, enhancing agricultural productivity and competitiveness, encouraging non-farm economic growth, and improving social well-being. I think this is important for us to learn in helping to tackle food loss and food waste issues, because if we actually equipped ourselves with this kind of knowledge, especially working with the World Bank strategy, we could be really active in spreading the news about food awareness and how much food is getting wasted every year or every month in some parts of the world.
And we've had excess food left at the end of the day, and if we haven't been in contact with the food bank, we can't donate it to them. So at Halloween, we had something like 5 tons of pumpkins left. We couldn't do anything with them. The companies like the food banks and charities wouldn't take them because we hadn't arranged it 2 months in advance. So it all pretty much went to waste. It wasn't until we found farmers and taken it from pigs. But there's all that food there that we can use. That kind of red tape is saying, no, we don't want it.
My focus is I want to answer maybe not just questioning, but even going back to the farmers and everybody else. I don't know who else I will include because anyway, it's more technology based since we are in the technology age. We already have supermarkets having memberships and all, and so I think we could have softwares that register consumption rates for each member in every supermarket, and then individuals would be encouraged to become members of supermarkets and all.
At FAO headquarters in Rome, but I'm also here as a rural youth as well. I grew up on a mixed production farm in England, so I know a little bit about what it's like to get up before school and tend to livestock and the trials and tribulations that go with agriculture. So today's theme is looking forward, and especially what we can do after the conference. And I think the last couple of days we've had some really fruitful discussions about what we can do, looking at firstly the causes of poverty and food insecurity, but also solutions and what we can do to help eradicate poverty and food insecurity. So what we need to do today, I think, is to really prioritize what it is we really want, and what we as individuals also want to take away from the conference, from the 3 days of discussions. So in the discussions that I've been sitting in on, there's been a lot of talk about the role of governments, which is obviously key, and the role of the private sector as well. But I think we also need to focus on the role of youth, especially, and what we can do ourselves.
2050, there's going to be 9 billion people that we have to feed. Today already we're seeing at this point in time there are about 842 million people who are undernourished. That means that they do not have enough food to lead healthy, active lives, and that's safe and nutritious food available to them on an ongoing basis. So when we project ourselves forward to 2050, where we actually will have 9 billion people at that point to feed, you can imagine what we're facing. And I'm really happy to be talking to all of you, because when I think of 2050, me and my generation, if we're still lucky enough to be around, will be resting on our front porches and reading books, and you all will be really at the heart of the policy making, the decision making. You're going to be the entrepreneurs and the actors, and you're going to be the ones who will have to make sure that all the decisions and actions you make are the best, to ensure that we can have zero hunger, and that we have reduction in poverty, and that we are using our resources in a natural way, in a sustainable, that we're using our natural resources in a sustainable manner. And of course, all of this will be happening at a time when you're also going to have to be dealing with the erratic impacts of climate change. So I don't envy you, but I do think that it's an exciting period as we move forward.
We're here at the third day of the World Conference on Youth 2014 held at the BMICH in Sri Lanka. Joining us right now is Miss Isabel Sloman, part of the Youth and United Nations Global Alliance. Welcome to our program, Ms. Sloman. Thank you.
Acknowledge the rights of food, strengthen poverty.
Is this your first trip to Sri Lanka?
It is, yeah, and I've really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful country, and very friendly people. I've been made to feel very welcome here, so I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And how has the conference been so far for you?
It's been great, yeah, and it's been quite busy. We've been doing a lot of different things. We've been at the UN booth a lot, which is in the exhibition centre. So we've been having some interactive stands there, trying to get young people to come in and look at our resources, but also feed us some ideas about how we can get more young people involved in agriculture, how we can reduce food waste.
Hi everyone, this is the third day of the World Conference on Youth 2014 held at the BMICH in Sri Lanka. And joining us today is Ms. Beth Crawford, FAO Representative for Sri Lanka and Maldives. Welcome and thank you for joining our program.
Thank you, it's nice to be here.
Ms. Crawford, could you tell us a little bit about the FAO's participation in the World Conference on Youth 2014, please?
Sure. My participation just now was I was part of a panel on the theme of food security and poverty reduction. So we talked about the need to be feeding 9 billion people by 2050 and the challenges that we face in that regard. In particular with increased pressure on natural resources, changes in the demands for food, climate change, there are a number of issues that are going to feed into this issue of feeding the world by 2015. And of course, FAO is focused on ensuring that everybody is food secure. That means everybody has sufficient food at all times to lead a happy and healthy life.